Hey gang, Luke here. Just want to give a heads up that during this episode we experienced some technical difficulties with one of our guest microphones. His audio goes in and out a little bit over the course of the episode. We obviously apologize for this issue. We still think it's a super funny episode and hope you enjoy it, but just a heads up about that issue. We hope that won't happen again in the future. Thanks again for checking out the show, and we really hope you enjoy.
You are listening to The Beaverton, North America's trusted source of news.
This week on the Beaverton, Nova Scotia now has the highest monthly apartment rent in the nation, and that's before you factor in the cost of a generator for the 25 days a month the power goes out. Canada Land was ordered to pay nearly $900,000 to the mother of the We charity founders after editor Jesse Brown hid documents proving their defamatory reporting was false. If only Canada had some kind of self-appointed media watchdog that could investigate when a prominent media personality was engaged in unethical behavior. Oh well. And Conservative Party support has hit a new low in the polls. Poilievre assured party supporters their fortunes would turn around just as soon as he does a few more podcasts. That's right, it's time to make fun of the news once again on the Beaverton Weekly Report. Welcome to the show, everyone. So glad you're tuning in. I'm your host, Luke Gordon-Field. Joining me this week is a regular panelist who definitely didn't poison me for the last 2 weeks so he could take over the show, Ian McIntyre.
I thought the hemlock would work.
Very Socratic, I appreciate it. And a very special guest. He is the man behind the wildly popular Canada.gov.ca Instagram account, a musician, comedian, and expert in Canadian culture. John Batt is here. Welcome, John.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm, as we were chatting a little bit before we started, it's like, as you mentioned, it's like, hey, super excited to do the podcast. Pretty grim news stories we're talking about this week. And I'm like, yeah, that's every week. Welcome to our life, John.
But that's why we need to bring a guest like you in, because you do such light, nice stuff.
Yeah. I was like, So, like, not to give any spoilers, but I was just like, how are we going to make any of this funny? But
you know what? Maybe we won't, and we'll find out together.
Yeah.
And we just lost half our audience, but it's fine. No, I mean, you know what? This is, we obviously want to keep things light and fun, but at the same time, we have, I think, an obligation to cover the biggest news stories. So, well, let's dive in with, a story that's bad in the sense that it's trying to solve a problem, but maybe is a good result, depending on how we feel about it, which is Canada is set to ban social media for kids under 16. I have 18 here, but I believe it's 16, right? It
is 16, yeah.
So, so kids under 16. When you first heard about this, we're not the first country to do this. Australia has done it. The UK is moving towards doing it. When you first heard about this, what was your guys' reaction? Are you pro, con? How'd you feel?
It'll be interesting to see what the buy-in is, even from parents. I don't know how you could possibly be someone that like makes content with your kid, for example, as so many wacky parents do, and then ask them like not to engage with that kind of media. I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out how to do that myself with my infant daughter. She's not buying in on the comedy bits that I'm trying to pitch her.
Yeah. I mean, like when I had my kid, immediately I was like, "How can I make money off of this child?" Like,
it's the first thing you think, right?
Yeah, like I mean, it was kind of all part of the plan. Make a quick buck off this little girl.
In this economy, it's the best plan.
Yeah, when you have kids now, everyone's like, okay, it's going to cost you, it's the equivalent of like a Ferrari a year to raise them. And you're like, oh, but you didn't factor in YouTube ad revenue that I'm going to make off all those sweet YouTube shorts I'm going to put out there like Jack Plays and making the big bucks. The key is, I'm not kidding when I say this, I obviously don't do this, but I know this is a real thing they do, is dub them in every language under the world and have a different account for every language so that you get all the money.
Oh, that's wild. And YouTube's like, that's fine. Like, go ahead as long.
100%.
What do they care? Yeah.
Oh yeah. If they can funnel if they could funnel other children into the manosphere and alt-right pipelines in those other languages, that would be great. Sorry, that wasn't worth me interrupting you. What were you actually going to say?
I just think it's funny that the other hack now is that like they're making like 1 second videos, so that it just counts as replay.
Oh.
Like if you just watch it for like 3 seconds, so they're getting like 3 times, 4 times the views. It's funny because I have been running Canada.gov.ca for 7 years, since 2017. Is it 8 years now? Since January 2017.
I mean, that'd be 9 years.
9 years.
You're almost up to 10, bud.
Yeah, shows how amazing my math is. But I have not had a watershed moment at any time. And I've never obviously I've not bought followers, or I would have bought a lot more, or I would have gotten here faster. 100,000 followers, or I'm at 111 or something. It's great. It's this wonderful accomplishment. But TikTok numbers are crazy, and people are hitting 250,000 followers in an afternoon with kind of one viral thing, and that has not happened to me. This has been an extremely slow grind to get to where I'm at. But yeah, I myself try to make I've tried to make a nice corner of the internet, a pleasant corner of the internet. And so I also, when I think of kids under, I think 16 is ambitious of an age to say, because it's just that's like asking kids not to have sex at 16 or drink.
I wasn't. I was a deeply unpopular child.
But I mean, so I don't know. I could see it. I think the idea is great. I think if you changed it to 12 or something, I think we're wildly underestimating how fast kids are growing up these days and their maturity and everything. Yeah. Being born in 1986, I truly was. I do remember pre-internet very, very well.
Oh yeah.
I remember I was 9 years old when my family got dial-up. But then I was an eager, joiner of Facebook. I was fascinated with Facebook when it came out, and Instagram. And there's a few I've stayed away from. Just never happened. But MySpace or Friendster or Snapchat, you can't do them all. There's simply too many.
Not enough hours in the day.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know how you. I don't know how you enforce that. I think that, a kid's going to Google a VPN or do whatever and get it. They're going to do what they want to do. But if you're starting a conversation to sort of change the way we look at it and say hey, this is seriously harming the average kid. We need to curtail this as much as possible. Then something obviously needs to be done. This is if children are unwell out there.
Yeah, it hasn't been good.
Yeah. So, Ian, would you be in favor of the ban?
Oh, I'm very pro this ban for everyone under 16, and I want them to extend it to everyone over 16. I just want them to get me and everyone I know off social media, and I'd like that time back. I think that would be good for all of us. I don't know. So
a ban/time machine situation. Pro.
Yes. I want to go back to the time you're describing, John, where we were all on dial-up, and the internet was just a nice thing we did occasionally, a treat.
Yeah, before we just ate dessert every day, all day.
In our pockets.
Yes. And the dessert was also porn. The trick, I think, to it is, as you said, John, is going to be, how do you actually do this? Australia, when they did it, it's been in place for a little over a year, I think, now. And The Guardian recently, a couple months ago, came out with a report that was 7 in 10 teenagers in Australia who were supposed to be subject to the ban have just found a way around it and are still on the major social media sites through VPNs, as you said, through...
I think they call them wazabongs there.
Yes. Thank you.
And they turn the other way.
Saying an Aussie term, but with no attempt to do an Aussie accent, is truly horrifying.
We remember what happened when I attempted French a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going there again.
Fair enough. Could you do your Irish again for me? But yeah, so they were also obviously just lying about their birthday. Facial recognition software is completely unreliable and opens up a whole other can of worms. So the end result that some people at least have found in Australia was that it hasn't stopped kids who want to use social media badly enough. It's just created a situation where now, like drugs, they're doing it without any kind of supervision. And they're sneaking it, and that's opening up a whole other can of worms of now there's no security measures in place, and now kids are sneaking around to do it, which creates an unsafe environment. They're getting, and I'm not kidding here, like burner devices to access their social media, things like that.
Fucking wire?
Yeah, I know, man. I know.
But think of how much tastier that social media would be now that you're not allowed to do it. Like, I just think about how much cooler weed used to be.
Yeah.
When, you know, you had to like kind of mess around to get it, and it was exciting. Like when you successfully got weed, like in another country or something, it was just like, oh man, I can't believe it. Like it was amazing. And now it's like got to be the lamest, like, you know, just because it's so easily, and you're buying it from the government. Like, it's just like, oh,
yeah.
sucks.
I miss getting in cars with strangers. That was fun. That was definitely a good thing we did.
But I mean,
I'm realizing we've combined the addictiveness of social media and illegal drugs. Yeah, that's doubly addictive. That's no good.
I mean, if we're calling weed, I mean, weed famously actually doesn't have addictive properties. Enough, but I hear what you're saying. Like, it's social media is the new drug for sure in the sense of like that addictive quality. So the other concern about this is, of course, privacy concerns, because you know how are they going to verify that you're over 16? It's not just going to impact kids. It's going to require some kind of proof that you're above 16 once you are. So that creates a situation where now you're giving Zuckerberg and Musk and whoever, the Ellisons who now own TikTok, those crazy MAGA lunatics, access to even more personal data than they already had, either in the form of facial recognition software, which will obviously keep your image, or uploading your government ID, which is a whole nightmare to think about, because now the next time Facebook gets hacked, it's not just your passwords that are up. Now they have your full passport or whatever. So that creates a huge concern, I would think. That is probably the only way to make it effective, is require some kind of like government ID. But like then you have this huge massive thing of like, it's either going to be some government app to verify that, you know, based on Canada's history creating apps. You know, I used the ArriveCan app last week when I came back from my trip to Ireland, and it crashed 8 times, then didn't work, and I had to just go to the desk anyways. Or, you know, now you're putting all your data in the hands of something that like Facebook, Meta, or Twitter, or TikTok, or whoever will create, which, you know, might work, but will just steal your data even harder than it currently is. So that's I think the biggest, you know, fly in the ointment for me is how do we verify this thing in a way that doesn't just result in a massive data leak and you know, people's private information being leaked.
I would have thought that, like, if you told me like you have already uploaded your license to Facebook, I would have like believed you. Like, oh, sure, maybe I did. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure my personal information was gone when I opted into Farmville back in 2010. I've given up any expectation of privacy on any of those platforms.
Expectation of privacy, sure, but there's a big difference between, okay, your shit's out there and someone can steal your full identity from one Facebook data hack.
Yeah, you heard that, listeners. See if it's possible. Try and hack one of them.
I'm just saying, like if someone gets if you've uploaded your driver's license with your address, date of birth, signature, and obviously your face to Facebook or Meta or like whatever, to their age verification software, and then that gets leaked, that's going to create huge issues for you beyond just they're selling your data to advertisers, which is already a problem. Now it's like full on like potential identity theft concerns. So like I think there is as much as we joke about like we haven't had privacy in 15 years, there is a sliding scale of privacy loss, and we can find out real quick how much worse it can get.
There's two things. One thing I remember, and I don't know if I made this up or not, but I am certain that it happened for a minute. You could send money to friends on Facebook Messenger, and they didn't keep this long. But I did it. Like I tested it. It was like, this is crazy. I'm going to send my friend like $5 and it worked. It went through. And it was like, you know, I don't know, beta tested or whatever. Like only a few people had this like function. I think they were maybe going to do it in some countries and not others. But I had it. I had that feature for a minute. And I was like, man, this is going to be weird with that. I'm blown away by Venmo in the States that they've combined sending money and social media.
Yeah,
like you see one friend charge their wife for a pizza and it's like, what in what world do we need to see? Like that's the celebration of no privacy. That's trying to condition us to be like, no, we need everyone to know everything. Because that to me blows my mind. The other very unsettling thing is the new sort of trend when you see like world leaders using their iPhone. Like I've seen Benjamin Netanyahu, Kamala Harris. Like, first of all, no AirPods, because that can be picked up so easily. Yeah. And stickers over the cameras on their phone. And it's like, damn, what do they know that we don't know?
Well, if you're Benjamin Netanyahu, a lot, because Mossad's giving you the personal information of every world leader in the entire galaxy. But yeah, for sure. Like Kamala Harris, like, throughout all the campaign, and she was like, very prominently had like the dangling things. We were like, oh, she's so old fashioned. It's like, no. She's just actually like, whatever you think of her, she's actually very smart about. She doesn't want her shit leaked through Bluetooth headphones, and it's like, smart.
Yeah, and that should be like more just widely disclosed. I think that like people can watch you through your camera, like your face is being seen by someone other than you through that lens, and that your conversations can be picked up like easily. Oh yeah, easily.
I mean, we all know that thing about like you talk about I want a candy bar, and then you get ads on your phone for candy bars seconds later. They're not even subtle about it. I think honestly, to me, like there's a better solution than this, and the solution is the tech giants should be regulated.
That's too much work, Ian.
But here's the thing: it's like here in Canada we can't. Because they're American companies, and even under Democrat administrations, they've shown like we're not going to regulate these guys. And Trump is like, I'm definitely not going to regulate them because they work for me.
And Trump has made it very clear that if you regulate them, it will be Absolutely. That is part of the negotiation for Kuzma and everything else. Like you can't do that.
Yeah, so it's like them, the AI companies, friggin' Netflix. Yeah. Like we can't regulate any of these guys. That's the real solution to all of this is for them to follow any laws. Yeah. But failing that, I hate to say, I do think get kids off social media is like a place to start, even if it's imperfect. It's kind of like get caught trying to find a solution, as opposed to, I don't know, we give up and let Mark Zuckerberg be Judge Dredd and he is the law.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, does it create more harm than benefit? The Australian example would suggest that there actually is a lot of harm in the ban itself, but and I want to acknowledge that, like, for as much as we talk about social media as this toxic place, because it is for so many, it is for some people still what it was supposed to be, which is a place where people find community, especially if you're like in a rural area and you're like, a queer person who's like doesn't have any queer friends in your immediate community. Maybe you find a community online of people that speak to your identity. That's just one example, obviously, but like there are examples of that.
I feel like that's the only good example.
I know.
It's the one that always comes up.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they used to say, like on Tinder, like the smart thing to do is like to take the conversation off the app as soon as possible, and that was like your highest chance of success, so to speak. Huh. I think the same could be said for like Instagram or for social media. Like, I have met some people that I've now like gone on like trips with and everything, like through my Instagram account, through like posting stories and followers being like, hey, are you at this lake right now? Or are you traveling at this blah, 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 and then like meeting that person in real life. But yeah, if you can take that off the platform quickly and then just make that person an IRL friend, then it's doing what it's supposed to do. The funny thing about social media is that it started as harmful because it was like, you have these young women comparing their appearances to other women and their other, girls in their class, et cetera. It's bad for their self-esteem. It's this. Well, now it's a different kind of harm. Now it's where we are actively, like companies are actively sending boys in this alt-right pipeline. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like setting out to mess kids up is a totally different, it seemed like accidental harm, whereas now there's a blueprint for how to mess kids up, and that's trying to shape some kind of future citizen is it's got to be the most dystopian thing imaginable.
It's also where the money is. Yes. So that's why it's all their business plans now.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, all right. Well, we will see what, if anything, Canada does that is maybe different than Australia, because obviously that wasn't a great precedent to follow, even though I suspect we're just going to do the exact same thing. And maybe we can have somehow better results just by luck. I don't know. But we'll see. Talking about money, though, the World Cup, which is just a cash cow for FIFA, the most profitable nonprofit in the world. But let's, the World Cup, we touched about it on the Patreon section last week, but we are now just, I think literally 2 days away from Canada's first game, 1 day away, or actually by the time this comes out, the day of the first game of the whole tournament. Are you guys excited? Is it cool that Canada is hosting what is next to the Olympics, the biggest sporting event in the world?
I mean, I am curious about that first game that Canada is playing on Friday. If we lose to Bosnia and Herzegovina, does that mean World War I starts again?
Yes, the Black Hand reforms, and Archduke Franz Ferdinand is shot once more.
By Gavrilo Princip, yes. Okay. It's like... I thought that wasn't a country anymore.
Oh man, some people in Serbia are real happy to hear you say that.
Oh no, what have I done?
This is it's the breakup of the Yugoslavian. Yeah.
But still, it just sounds like such a fun, old-timey thing. Yeah, no, I'm probably not going to watch it, except I just remembered my parents are coming to visit this weekend, so I will for sure have to watch it.
Ah, well, yeah, well, also it'll be easier than going anywhere this weekend if you're in the Toronto area. That's going to be an absolute shit show. But yeah, so like,
just to check, how about you, John? Are you watching any of this? Did I offend you as a World Cup fan?
So growing up in New Brunswick, I had actually never seen a soccer game on television my entire life. That was not a thing, I can promise you. But when I moved to Montreal in 2006, when I was about 19 or 20 years old, that was sort of my introduction to the World Cup. And Montreal is lit up like a Christmas tree for the World Cup. Yeah. You have people standing outside of like all the cafes, like people stopping what they're doing. You got to love the like weird time of day the games are happening, like these big afternoon games. You have like, you know, St. Peter or Bernard streets or Beaubien, Little Italy, just completely shut down by people. Like no city planning done, just absolute mayhem.
Little Italy probably won't be doing that good this time around, which is a reference that if you know the World Cup knows Italy is not in it. So Little Italy will probably be pretty sad this time around. But yeah, sorry, continue.
I bet those huge crowds in Montreal are just a prime target for Just for Laughs gags.
Yeah, are they still doing that? Damn.
No, I hope so.
Oh man, don't count out the Portuguese though. The Portuguese population in Montreal is huge, and those guys go bananas for their countries. So
I had the same experience as you when I moved to Toronto in 2004, because like I'm from the East Coast. I had never seen people watch soccer on television before. We just had Rita McNeil specials. And when I moved to Toronto, all of a sudden just people driving up and down Harvard Street where I lived, honking their horns and waving flags I didn't recognize. And someone had to explain it to me what was happening.
Yeah, they go equally as crazy for like the Euros and but no, I love that level of enthusiasm, and I love like when a city goes absolutely crazy. I was in town so like Montreal's big weekend was like the end of May, because like F1 was happening and the Habs were still in the playoffs. So it was electric. You could just feel it. It's nothing like it. And you know, Montreal's a cold, snowy place for 8 months out of the year, and so just all of a sudden it's just this bliss. So I kind of associate the World Cup with that, with just sort of the city buzzing. But yeah, on the East Coast, like you play soccer with the word Timbits across your shirt, and then you don't think about soccer for the rest of your life ever again.
Very true.
Yeah, but no, I'll be tuning in for sure. I think I don't know. I think the group that we're in, it'd be pretty embarrassing if we don't do well.
Yeah, well, because Italy was supposed to be in that group, and then they lost to Bosnia and Herzegovina. So the one that everyone thought would go through, Italy, didn't make it.
See, that's crazy because aren't there like an unprecedented quantity of teams this year?
Yes. Yeah, every 4 years it gets bigger for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, why not? We probably just should have thrown Italy in there anyway, just for.
They snuck in.
I mean, the Italians feel that way for sure. They're like, why can't we just come in?
Yeah, just come on.
There should be. I do feel like similar to like when you win like one of the major golf tournaments. Like once you've won one, you're always invited back every year, even if you suck and it's 20 years later. So like if you've won the Masters, they invite you back every year to Augusta. I feel like if you've won a World Cup, you should get to play in every World Cup.
Yeah, for sure.
Which would only apply to 7 teams, 8 teams, most of whom make it every 4 years anyways. But like the fact that Italy's not there is insane.
It is insane, and that, I mean, not that I feel bad for anybody, but like what a loss of. I feel bad for like the small businesses and stuff that are losing money there. But it's an unbelievable boost. Like you had bars in Montreal for the Habs playoffs that like would maybe get 10 regulars in on a day to play the VLTs or whatever. Like just the shittiest bar you can think of, just packed with people.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Like you couldn't find a bar to watch these games. So that's an unbelievable boost in business. But I saw a funny quote about like the Knicks game last night. It was like, you know, all the air was sucked out of the building with like Trump being there, but also, you know, the fact that like the get-in price was like $10,000 for nosebleeds. It was like we needed a Knicks game and we got the Met Gala. And it just became like the who's who. And not only that, you had like people on the top of the Epstein list, like Howard Lutnick, like in the front row, like courtside. It was just like
Ghislaine Maxwell was in the skybox. That doesn't seem allowed.
I think I saw Osama bin Laden up in this.
Huge Knicks fan. Huge Knicks guy.
Look, I'm just saying, Prince Andrew did a pretty good job with the national anthem, all right? You wouldn't have thought he would know it. It's not his song, but he killed it.
It is funny, though, that Trump got booed because I was like, oh, it'll be all rich people in the stadium. Are they going to boo him? And then it's like, oh, yeah, no, rich New Yorkers hate Donald Trump. They've always hated him since the 80s.
And I will say, if you had, like, the way these pro stadiums work is if you had season tickets, you got it at a more affordable rate. It was the people trying to buy tickets just for that game who were the ones paying like $5,000 to $10,000 for a single game. So like, if you had season tickets in like the nosebleeds, you were getting them for certainly a fuck ton of money. Don't get me wrong; it's not a cheap thing to go to a Knicks game, even in the regular season, let alone the playoffs. But it wasn't like you were paying $5,000 for two seats.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm interested in it. Like, I love the World Cup. I love watching it. I won't pretend to be a regular soccer fan, but I'm a general sports fan, so I love watching it. My kid is also very excited. I told him today that it was starting tomorrow, and he was like, "What?" And like he told me the other day, he's like, he gave me a long speech about why Messi is better than Ronaldo. And I'm like, in my head the whole time, I'm like, you've never watched either of those people play. You couldn't pick them out of a lineup, but it's just been such a debate in his school that he's picked up on the arguments. So he's like, Ronaldo scores more, but Messi's a better passer. I'm like, you're right. I mean, when you're right, you're right. And so it's like the fact that he doesn't know who either of them are really, but he insisted on having Messi's number for his little, like, you know, Timbit soccer team. I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's get you Messi's number, bud. You won the draw. So yeah, the downside to it, of course, is that we have been inundated with stories all week about FIFA and Trump and being up to their usual bullshit. FIFA, the big story was that they were trying to ban people from bringing in refillable water bottles or bringing their own water because they wanted them to buy, you know, $10 fucking Evian or Dasani crap, despite what is expected to be extremely hot temperatures in Toronto, New York, and other places where the games are happening. You know, it seems to me that, like, once you reach a certain level of success, I guess they just don't even worry about, well, how do we keep people coming? Because it's like, we're the World Cup. We don't need to ever worry about that. Similar to the Olympics, similar to the Knicks in New York, the Leafs in Toronto, where it's just like, sure, this is going to turn away people, but who gives a shit? We're FIFA. Is that like how you're reading this money grab? We want $10 extra from every person?
That's part of the scam. That's why they host it in a different country every year. Because they suck up all the money from the rubes, and then they vanish in the night and go set up in Qatar or Vladimir Putin's Russia.
It's a monorail situation?
It's a monorail situation, but precisely, yes, you nailed it.
People are going to the World Cup once, right? Like, I don't think you're going to every single one unless you're absolutely crazy. I like the Bell Center because, like, they'll rob you in terms of like the beer price or whatever, but there's the locals know like which sections to go to and what bartenders you can grease.
Tell me more.
Oh yeah, and like you can have like a cigarette in the bathroom. It's no big deal.
Well, you know what? I didn't know that, but I absolutely assumed it. I was like, yeah, you can definitely smoke in the bathroom at Montreal stadiums.
Yeah, you that's all the most Montreal shit I've ever heard.
Well, it's funny too because like they don't like if they like catch you, like people they catch smoking, they don't like throw out.
Yeah.
They'll what they used to do is like they take out your ticket and they would like make like an X, like with a Sharpie on your thing,
like
and
a
then
scarlet
it'd be like,
letter.
Yeah, you got like a warning.
Yellow card.
So if you smoked again, then it was a red card. Then you're right.
Or if you got caught smoking again. So really, you were just playing odds at this point.
It's so Quebecois that they're like, all right, you can have one cigarette.
Everyone gets one.
Well, because you can't leave the ring too, right? That's to me so ridiculous. I find that predatory. But the water bottle thing is that's like a human rights issue. That needs to be like investigated. Someone needs to, I don't know. That is so wrong. And you know, it's a trade-off for them. They're going to be picking people up off the ground. Because first of all, boomers don't drink water anyway, and they're definitely not paying $7 or $10 or $14 for water. You can be damn sure.
Well, I do love how they backed off on it, and they were like, you can bring in water bottles, but they have to be soft plastic and no larger than 590 milliliters. So they're like, we didn't get your money, but we're going to kill you with BPA plastics.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's like, so they've created a situation where it's like, all right, it's allowed, but we're going to create a guideline that no water bottle fits into.
No,
so
not at all.
You can't actually bring one. Like how in Oklahoma, when they wanted to just funnel money to Trump, they were like, they created a set of guidelines for what Bible to buy that only Trump branded Bibles fit into, and they were like, oh, I guess we gotta go with Trump brand Bibles. What are we gonna do?
They must have porn in them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Guide to cheating on your wife, the 11th commandment. But yeah, so like, FIFA is almost like, it's almost like at a certain point when you make so much money, and it's so hilarious that they're technically a nonprofit. Like when you make so much money and you've literally sold out to first Russia, then Qatar, and now Trump, that it's like it's like there's so much money in this. There's billions of dollars in this sport. It's the most popular sport worldwide by a huge amount. There's so much money to be made, and they're still just trying to nickel and dime. Like that's almost charming, where it's like a Lex Luthor thing, where you can't resist getting that other score in. You know what I mean? Like, sure, there's a big land play, but also I could steal $10 from that guy's pocket. So like that's sort of where I'm like, oh, FIFA, never change, but also please change. Yeah. The Trump admin stuff is also galling in a far less fun way, but we got to talk about it. So they. For the last year or two, people have been like, Jesus Christ, like, the World Cup and then the Olympics coming to the U.S. under Trump, this is going to be a nightmare. And everyone being like, no, because he doesn't, he likes doing shit in a way that like makes him look good. He doesn't want to look bad, blah, blah, blah. He won't actually do that much. No, he's doing it. So, or at least his admin is. So they've already like basically imposed rules on the Iranian soccer team that like they have to get in, get out for every game. And they can't stay for so basically like they have to like fly in, play, and fly out, which is not at all how athletes' bodies work. You're supposed to come in, acclimatize, train, and then play. Like it basically makes it impossible for them to play well, really.
I do love that this is the first ever World Cup, apparently, where the host nation is at war with one of the qualifying nations.
That checks out, yeah.
It's kind of cool that that's the first time this has come up.
Yeah, I guess in fairness, there hasn't been a lot of times when like Brazil was at war with Uruguay or anything. But yeah, so there's that. And then, of course, they are also using, the visa situation to be incredibly discriminatory. There was a Somalian referee who was slated to referee a number of games, and they just wouldn't admit him to the country. And FIFA, instead of sticking up for him at all, absolutely backed down and was just like, oh, yeah, what are you going to do?
He should have paid them $1 million.
Yeah. And then there was, many videos and photos going around of, countries who are, not highly regarded by the U.S., their players being subjected to pretty inhumane searches and pat-downs and stuff at the airports as they came in, which, again, the U.S. has the right they have the right, if you enter the country, to search your bags. I get all that, but it was very clearly discriminatory who they were targeting, aka players from black and brown countries. At this point, we're about to start. How worried are you that there's going to be some kind of like, this kind of massive international sporting event in the U.S. is going to go incredibly badly?
Well, you know what always cools down high temperatures like this? A little ice, baby. I'm sure that they are going to make everything go real smooth, since they are apparently going to like help out at the stadiums.
Oh, good. I was hoping they'd get in there.
And the Trump administration is like, oh, it's cool. They're just there to like hand out water bottles or something. And it's like, no. They're going to do human rights violations, guys. That's their job.
Yeah.
It's America's dumbest idiot.
Trump just announced that there's going to be like a big ICE operation in New York City the day after he gets booed in New York City, and you can't help but just fully be certain that that's connected. But yeah, the other thing I was reading the other day that was like, even Hitler didn't put any restrictions on people coming into the 1933 Olympics. Like everyone just come on right in and compete. But
yeah,
now,
he got him later though. He was taking names. Yeah.
Oh no. Still, that's terrible when there's a bar that's like, you didn't even clear the Hitler bar in this situation. That's awful.
Yeah, but like, what was our beef with this Somali guy? What did he do?
I think it was just
I don't know the exact details. I mean, they just claimed he didn't meet visa requirements, and what that means, maybe a friend of a friend or something was, affiliated with something, a family member was affiliated with something.
I looked him up. Apparently he was named one of Africa's top referees and was the continent's best male referee in 2025. I think they were scared by his level of competence.
I mean, if there's one thing soccer needs, it's incompetent referees to make it more exciting, because the main thing, as with hockey and basketball to some degree, but especially hockey, the main thing people love to do is argue about referees' calls with soccer, and that's the main conversation for days afterwards. So
that's going to be bad for the visiting referees, because you know how many guns there are in America? Oh, that's not a safe country to go to.
Yeah, they all flee to Canada after making a bad call. Yeah, so I mean,
it'll be interesting given how many host cities there are. Like, I think that there's lots of opportunities for it to go bad, go poorly in like pockets.
Yeah.
But like I'm reminded of like the Sochi Olympics. Those seem to be like particularly bad in terms of like accommodations for, like, it was a joke.
Yeah.
Like some of the beds were made out of like cardboard, and the outlets didn't work in any of the rooms, and like that's a level of like that was really bad. Just objectively a shitty experience for all those involved. I think Vancouver gets tons of credit for 2010. I think that like widely considered to be like one of the best like Olympics ever. With the World Cup, it's like across 3 countries. Like, I don't even know how you could call this like how anyone's really a host. It's happening on like one side of the world. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's crazy. Montreal seems pretty thrilled that they did not get involved with this. From what I hear,
they learned their lesson from that Olympics they host.
Yeah, they learned their lesson from the big OWE, as Montrealers like to call that. Although they're putting like another $1 billion into that roof or something.
They just won't give up on that dream, man. I don't think the Expos are coming, but you never know. Maybe they are. I mean, I would love it.
It's like they're leaving a candle in the window for them.
Seriously.
I go to the Jays game because the Jays play in Montreal most years. Like, they play a couple exhibition games there.
Oh, sick.
It is fun to go. Like, it's nice that it's not a stadium that you have to go to regularly. Like, if the Habs played in a building that old, I don't think I would find it charming. Like, if they were still at the Forum. The Bell Center is nice, but the Big O is kind of crazy. Like, it is sort of this old, like, brutalist, all concrete. You're pissing into a trough with like all the other guys. It's just absolutely weird and wild. Of course, those pre-COVID communal sinks with the pedal on the bottom
that look way too much like the trough that you piss into. Yeah. So you're like, is this a sink or is this just a second trough? What are we doing here? And believe me, in the third period, some guys confuse the two.
No question.
I've been in a rink. I can't remember if it was the old Gardens or when I went down to Buffalo for a game. I can't remember, but I remember a rink where it was like, I don't know if we were just pissing in the sink, but there was a circular trough in the middle of the room, and I was like 12 years old. You're peeing, and there's just a grown man directly across me. And I'm like, what am I doing right now?
Pissing in your direction?
Yeah. Like, it was a deep trough, but it was a circular, like, it was just everyone gather around, stare into each other's eyes or dicks, your choice.
By the way, John, I'm a big fan of your website, and your attention to detail in terms of Canadiana weirdness has not disappointed here. This is all magnificent.
It's certainly the thing that I sort of pride myself the most in, and it's kind of the thing I think that makes the account charming. Those little things that we all kind of saw but didn't really think to ask the question about, or those things definitely belong in that conversation.
100%. Well, if you want to feature the circular trough, I'll find out what arena that was for you. But let's move on and talk about the latest in the Alberta independence saga, which is that both Danielle Smith and Pierre Poilievre, after being completely mum on this topic for many, many months, even as Smith was pushing the referendum campaign along, have now come out and been like, oh, don't vote to separate.
So Danielle Smith basically came out with a big breakdown of how much everything was going to cost, and was like, Albertans deserve to know. And in fairness, I agree with her on that. Like, Albertans do deserve to know. It was like, you know, an absurd, I think it was like $66 billion or something in that neighborhood of just startup costs. Like, this is how much it costs to set up our own, you know, judiciary, our own pension plan, our own, et cetera, our own, obviously, health care.
Getting your internet account moved.
Exactly, yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Or your Canada Post address, yeah. All those things. So, like, she was basically like, here's all this upfront costs just so you guys know before you vote, which I think is a good tactical point to make if you are encouraging people to vote to remain and not to vote for the referendum for a referendum. But do we give her any credit for making that point, or is it just like way too little too late?
I think if there's one thing Alberta separatists always respond to, it's a nuanced fiscal argument. Known for their prudent financial sense. Yeah, I think that'll go great. Tell them more about Brexit. They love European politics.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I think it's just incredible how wonderfully fucked Poilievre is in this situation. There's no play. There's absolutely no way to look good here, and he knows that. He knows he's fucked either way, because it's sort of like his base.
Yes,
and yet then it's like, so where does he fit in? And on top of that, he's an Alberta member of parliament.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, technically in that he never shows up or does anything for them, but yes, he is quite literally an MP for Battle River Crowfoot.
Next time he asks Carney a question in Parliament, Carney's response should just be like, just question, where are you, name your riding, and just see if Poilievre can do it. Just see if Poilievre has it off the tip. Because, like, for sure, if you give him a second, someone will kick in or someone will whisper to him, whatever, Battle River, whatever the fuck it is. But, like, offhand, like, name it. Like, just name it right now. Don't think about it, name it, and see how he does. I'm giving him 50-50 odds at best.
50 at best, yeah.
Well, Poilievre did weigh in on how we should feel about people who are pro-separatism, with a quote, defending people who want to leave Canada.
Demonizing people who have lost hope in Canada is no way to restore it. Name-calling, fear-mongering, and ostracizing will only worsen and broaden the divide. A better way is to listen, understand, persuade, and address the easily solvable problems they are asking us to fix.
All right, let's demonize, ostracize, and divide. Let's do it all three.
I mean, it's so interesting because this, like, we're literally talking about traitors.
Yeah.
To the country.
Secessionists, yes.
It reminds me of the time he introduced himself to Joe Biden as Her Majesty's loyal opposition. Yeah. And Joe Biden said, loyal?
Yeah.
Like, it was like such a strange concept to him. Like, what do you mean you're loyal opposition?
Hey, remember how Biden was actually pretty sharp sometimes?
I mean, between like 9:30 and 10:30 in the morning, he had some quips.
And after that, it was like time for tapioca.
Yeah.
You know, Matlock, but yeah.
But I think that I kind of get what he's saying, where it's like, you know, we have these people who feel very marginalized or feel like that they're not getting an adequate slice of the pie. The irony being that the people that are most upset with Canada are driving $100,000 trucks and living in houses, 3-car garages. So it's
absolutely have the biggest slice of pie, but it could be bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, the level of hatred for just the Liberal Party of Canada in general. I always thought with Justin Trudeau, it was because he was French, a little effeminate. It's basically just like Justin Trudeau's gay. We hate him. For
that. It did seem to be most of their political argument, yes.
Especially at first, when he was just off vibes before he'd actually done anything,
What is especially, Ian, as a Nova Scotian, this may speak to you a little bit, like in the late 1800s and like early 1900s, people who felt marginalized in that way organized. Mm-hmm. You have people like Father Moses Cody setting up all those cooperatives and helping farmers and fishermen like unionize. So you have all those like credit unions in Cape Breton and in Nova Scotia, like, this huge wave of socialism. Mm-hmm. And now that same guy calls Mark Carney a communist. Like, and we're in the age of information now. So it sucks that marginalized guy is such an idiot now, because that's a really powerful dude that's mad. And instead of calling a central banker a communist, he could be organizing. He could be making lives better for everybody. It's amazing how often the things that they say that actually come out of their mouths are socialist ideas. But if you throw that word in front of them, they're horrified by it. So this separation thing is all bullshit. Except for the feelings that some of these people have. But it's never going to happen. It's a smoke screen. It's absolutely wacky. The irony too, though, is that the progressive parties in Quebec are separatists. I vote for a separatist party in Quebec.
That's Quebec Solidaire, I assume.
Quebec Solidaire, yeah, they're the best. They are the best party. They are technically a sovereigntist party, and so. Am I a separatist? I guess.
Take this quiz to find out if you're a Quebec separatist.
Yeah, I just took a BuzzFeed quiz. I am actually a traitor myself.
Yeah.
Did not realize that, but
I don't think you're what Lucien Bouchard and Jacques Parizeau had in mind. An Anglo living in the Laurentians, but you never know.
They'll take all they can get.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's sort of this funny thing where the whole situation or the whole context changes so dramatically based on what province you're in or what area of the country. But I can't help but think this is all some sort of just wacky campaign for a wild goose chase, really.
Yeah.
And I think people will leverage.
Or a wild rose chase. No.
There you go. But yeah, I think people will leverage some sort of political capital out of this.
Sure,
of course.
In some way,
the whole point.
That's what Danielle Smith has been doing the whole time, for sure. And that's why now that she's given, I think in her mind, now that she's given them what they want, which is a referendum, even though the separatists are furious that it's a referendum for a referendum, not a referendum to actually leave, that she can now come out against voting. She's always been like, I'm for staying in Canada, but she would say that part real soft. And then she would be like, but Albertans deserve a voice. And she would say that part real loud. And so now that the Albertans are getting their voice, which is the chance to vote on this, now she can come out and make her opinions known a little bit. And on a very theoretical level, I can kind of identify with that, which is okay, you put the question, you fought to get the question in front of them, now you can weigh in on the question. Again, I can kind of understand that if the whole thing wasn't so clearly, as you just said, John, a ploy for her to up her political capital and up her leverage with Ottawa, which is, it gets to my question, which is it fair, which is what Poilievre's driving to in that clip, is it fair to ask the rest of the country to give Albertans what they want just because if we don't, they'll keep threatening to leave?
I mean,
well, I live in Quebec, so
that's why we want your perspective. You fucking secessionist motherfucker.
No, I mean, it's funny because people get so angry about the mere existence of the Bloc Québécois, and it is absurd that they're a party in the. But I do admire the people that I admire the idea of it, of we're gonna make this about us so hard.
But at least they seem to be doing it in a way where they're okay, the bid is kind of transparent. We are trying to legislate better for Quebec. Whereas so much of the Alberta separatists really seem to be no, we're going to leave and create new Alberta
exactly.
stand.
It's like negotiating in good faith versus negotiating in bad faith.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And the Bloc will vote for, things that are either in Quebec's interests or they will vote for things that they agree with, whatever it may be. And so increased funding for, old age pensions or whatever, the Bloc will always vote for that because they're that's our bread and butter.
That seems to be a main cause, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it speaks to their voter base too, which is older Quebec voters. That's... So if Alberta had a separatist party in the federal parliament, I just got back from Ireland, so I'm kind of partial to the Sinn Féin move of we get elected and then just don't show up, which is that was what every Catholic MP in Northern Ireland who was elected to sit in the the Houses of Parliament in London just didn't show up. They were no, fuck you, I was just elected as a symbolic FU, so I'm not showing up. So I kind of like that move as well. There's two ways to go about it. But yeah, I mean the other thing too is
there is a diminishing return on how many times you can be like, give us this or we leave. And like Quebec has done a very artful job, unintentionally probably, because it's been through various leaders, sovereigntists and non-sovereigntists, of being like picking their battles a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, give us this or we leave. And then it's like, all right, we're quiet for a bit. And then 6 years later, it's like, give us this or we leave. And it's like, okay, yeah. Whereas Alberta is just kind of like that kid who's just throwing a tantrum because you wouldn't buy him a candy bar. And it's just like, and they just keep screaming louder and louder. It's like, at a certain point, you're just a toddler.
Well, this is what drives me nuts about Poilievre, because for one, his speech that he gave about Canada unity was just his stump speech recycled.
Of course.
With like unity in place of me as prime minister. But the thing that kills me is that he keeps saying all of these easily solvable problems for Alberta, like it's so easy just to get a pipeline through BC or through Indigenous groups or anything like that. Like he's like, if I was prime minister, I'd just snap my fingers and it would be done.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell if it's disingenuous to the max or he's a genuine moron.
Things can be two things.
Things can be two things. But it's this weird thing where everyone in Alberta is like, how dare you disrespect us? We have so much pride. Not everyone in Alberta, but I'm talking the separatists. The hardcore separatists are like
20 to 30% of people who are like, we're out of here.
How dare you disrespect us? And they keep forgetting the fact that like people in British Columbia have pride too.
Yeah.
Like Indigenous people have pride as well. And the fact that you're just telling them like, F you, we're building a pipeline through your backyard, they don't like that. They're not going to just say yes to that because you want it more.
Yeah.
Or you're I don't know. It's such a childish argument that I'm seeing, and there's no easy answer to it.
And they're the best at defending their land.
Sure, yeah.
You know,
like they'll throw down.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Dene people with the Mackenzie Valley pipeline and that kind of stuff. There will be no pipeline. Showing up to Ottawa and telling those settler colonials to their faces, this wasn't going to happen.
I'll actually confess, I'm not super familiar with this one. Where was this?
This was in like the Northwest Territories in the 70s.
Okay.
And the Canadian government sent up a judge, and he was like this pretty fair guy because he actually went up and met with all the Dene people and the Indigenous leaders up there, and came back and was like, first of all, they're not going to let this happen. So there's that.
I got bad news.
Yeah.
And he was like, but I listened to them and they are 1000% correct. It should absolutely not go down. And he came back with like a binding recommendation to the government, and the plan was scrapped. The whole thing was canceled. One thing I admire about like Quebec, for example, when we had the student protests, I'm not sure if you guys remember when those took place. It was amazing. They, like when I went to university at Concordia, my tuition was something like $1,500 a semester.
Jeez.
Like
What?
because I got my Quebec residency. I worked for a year in Quebec,
son.
and I paid Quebecers pay because
we're the same age, and yeah, I went to Queens at probably the same time as you went to Concordia. Fuck, it was. I don't even want to know what it'll be when my kids, if they go to postgrad or post secondary, will go. But anyways,
so they wanted to put it up, and what did Quebecers do? They said, "Fuck no." Do you think people like in Victoria, BC, or in Toronto are gonna protest and make sure that doesn't happen? No, like, you know what I mean? So I really was proud to be living in Quebec when that happened. And if I was an Indigenous person in this country, I would be proud of our track record of telling people where to stick it when it's a bad idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of the most inspiring photographs in Canadian history are like from the Oka crisis in the 90s. You have people standing right up to the military, face to face. So yeah, the arrogance associated with the separatist movement in Alberta is fascinating because there's never any mention that, wait a minute, guys, this isn't even your fucking land you're talking about. And so it's a level of level of arrogance amongst us now, not even kind of bringing that up till now. It's sort of like, who are we to even talk about them talking about it without consulting, the true, land.
We've been
original
trying to
landowners.
book all of British Columbia on the podcast. They're pretty elusive. We'll get them one of these weeks.
I think he's referring to indigenous groups.
Them as well.
But I hear what you're saying. And for the record, we have actually talked about that side of things quite a lot in the podcast.
But it's a good point.
But it's a very good point. Well, I hate to move us on, but I do have to, I'm keeping an eye on the clock here. So before we move on to the grand finale of our show, a quick message to you, the listener. First of all, thanks for listening. Thanks for checking out the show. If you haven't already, feel free to jump on your app of choice, leave 5 stars, leave a review, tell all your friends. You can share our video clips and help us grow this thing to be the biggest and best thing it can be. You can also, if you want to support us monetarily, you can do so at patreon.com/thebeaverton. Not only will you be keeping the podcast going, keeping the website alive, you will be getting an extended cut version of this show every week where we talk about a story or stories we didn't cover in the rest of the episode. This week we dove into the shit show that is 60 Minutes and the chaos that Barry Weiss is doing, possibly intentionally, probably intentionally, in order to destroy one of the most famous brands in news magazine history. So you can do so over at patreon.com/thebeaverton. Ian, do you have any shout outs this week?
Yeah, we do. We got some really nice comments on last week's episode. Over on YouTube, Barcode 2099 had a lot of interesting stuff about satellites and how they deorbit themselves, specifically Starlink ones. I didn't understand any of that. Please go read that. Over on Patreon, we got a couple cool ones. Birdbath said, as a listener who is both highly educated in economics and technology, I was the person you referenced who was yelling at their phone. They went on to talk a lot about the retirement funds and the liability of a company that is SpaceX. Is an interesting comment. Too long to read. Also, Ken on Patreon mentioned, I use the Milli Vanilli test to figure out who is under 40. As in, if they don't recognize Milli Vanilli, then they must be. Just thank some of our specific Patreon supporters, some of our new ones. We've got Wendy Tian, Donna Tomlinson, Taylor Sanderson, and Milena, who is someone I used to work with. That's very, very kind of you, Milena. Also, some of our OG supporters from the very beginning. We got Johanna Zeman, Wanderer, Tiff, and Savannah G. Thank you all very much for your support.
Thank you very much, Patreon members. And now it is time for the approximately 10-minute long quiz.
It's the approximately 10-minute long quiz, brought to you by Time.
Every week, I ask the panel to play the approximately 10-minute long quiz where I put their knowledge of some less widely reported news stories to the test. Panel, your first question. Running, as we all know, has a number of health benefits, but now, thanks to a special device created by a Canadian company, what culinary accomplishment can people perform during a race?
They can cook a pot roast in their spandex.
Is this some sort of like Maddie Matheson cancer run?
Yeah. You're like, bro, it'll get you laid, man. I promise.
He has such a high voice, and you lowered your voice for him.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He does.
He's so high. He's like, oh, bro, come on.
All right. Yeah, no, you're right. It is that.
Yeah.
I should not attempt voices on this podcast.
No, it's just so funny to go lower. But anyways, yeah. No, I mean, I mean, as I kind of indicated with culinary, you're in the right world with the pot roast thing to a degree.
Oh, God.
It's a cooking thing you can do while running, thanks to Lactantia, the dairy company. I'm giving that clue.
John, any guesses?
I'm gonna guess it's butter related.
It is absolutely butter related.
What?
Point to John. You can churn butter. I'm telling you. So, yeah, I thought Lactantia if I give it away. Thank you, John. So there was a social media trend of people putting milk in their pockets and running super long and super vigorously in an effort to make it turn into butter, which to churn it into butter.
You know, they sell that in stores.
Yeah, but this way I don't get to post about it on Instagram. I'm doing it for the real. But yeah, so Lactantia has unveiled a very limited edition, aka I think this is just a stunt. Obviously, you're not really going to buy this. But the ultimate butter churning vest is what they're calling it. It's designed with pectoral pockets for maximal kinetic impact and a 3mm neoprene insulating layer. It comes with a container to hold the cream and a kinetic ball to create agitation, helping to churn the butter. There's even a dedicated slot for a butter knife and another for a slice of bread. There is a contest going to win one of 10 of these online. Alternatively, you cannot do any of this. You don't have to do a single part of it, including the going for a run part. That's my 2 cents. But yes. All right, so point to John on that one. Ian's disgusted and will be making that face the rest of the episode. Our next question. The South Korean firm pursuing Canada's submarine contract has sweetened their bid with a promise to also build hydrogen-powered freight trucks and company. This plan has a project name within the company. What kind of insulting name do you think they've given to the plan to build Canadian-made hydrogen trucks?
What is a hydrogen truck?
It's a truck that runs off of hydrogen instead of electricity or gas.
Really?
Yeah.
They got cars that run on water, man.
This is a new thing?
This is a bid. I think hydrogen trucks exist, but this is a plan to build them in Canada using, Canadian labor, like all the things. Like if you give us the submarine contract, we'll throw in this sweetener, which is we'll put our hydrogen truck plant in Canada. That's the idea of it. But yes, so it has
so they're making, and they've chosen to make fun of us with their project name.
I don't think they intentionally made fun, but I think it comes across a little bit too cute by half, is I guess the clue I will give.
Is it hydro for hosers?
That's not bad. That's better than what they came up with, frankly. It starts with project. It's project something.
Project Anne Murray.
You're overthinking it. Project Beaver, which is,
that's my preferred adult site of mine.
There you go.
It's a category on Pornhub for sure. Yeah.
It's also the first draft of the name for the Beaverton. So I don't know if you know, but like on top of this, they also have if you listen to their ads, they're narrated by Peter Mansbridge. He's been doing the VO for all their ads. If you were like, who's that voice? That sounds familiar. It's because he was on the nightly news every night for our entire lives. So next, so they got Mansbridge reading the ads. They called it Project Beaver. Next, they're going to be like partnering with Tim Hortons for like a submarine style Timbit or something. Like they're really leaning into the like, we know what you fucks like, and that's oblique references to your culture and animals. All right, no points on that one. Next question. The Saskatchewan legislature recently added a new feature to the building that probably should have been there for the past few decades. What do you think they have installed?
Doors. So many needless deaths.
Oh, on the second and third floors. Yeah. You would go down. Yeah, for sure. It was not doors, although there are doors in this.
I heard about this.
Please.
So do I get a point if
you get it right? That? Yeah, you get a point. We're one of those weird quizzes where you get points for getting things right. I don't know if you've ever done that before.
Like, whose line is it anyway? Prior to recently, no women's washrooms in the Saskatchewan.
They're adding a women's washroom. I said it should have been there for a while now. Yeah, to be clear, specifically for, like, there's a public women's washroom. This is specifically for the MLAs. The MLAs, at most parliaments, the MPs or MLAs or whatever it is, have their own bathrooms.
Did the women just have to go outside and do it in a shame hut or something?
That was just when they were menstruating. But yes, so until recently, the female MLAs, who make up 30% of the legislative chamber, had only a one-style bathroom on the government side of the chamber. They will now have a new 5-style, luxurious, private women's bathroom. There was, like, in the article, there's, like, so many people being like, I had to go, or I was breastfeeding or whatever, and this was also the lactation room, and someone was in the bathroom. Like, just all these horror stories that, like, sound like they're from 1983 or whatever, but it's fully 2026. So after this, they may even think about installing a tampon dispenser or letting the female MLA speak without their husband's permission. Saskatchewan, always moving forward. All right, so point to John on that. Our last question, this is a complete the headline. I'm going to read a headline. It's missing some words. You fill it in for me. Manitoba man arrested for stealing blank from a local daycare. It was not a kid. Don't worry, it was not a kid. I wouldn't have done that.
Scratch. I'm guessing it was the good Nat Blanky.
Oh, great guess.
Yep.
John, any guesses?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right, no worries.
I can't imagine what you would steal from a daycare. Is there like a tip jar situation?
Just the parents on the way out, like, yeah, you gave them some real good juice this week.
Yeah.
Drop it into Toonie for the one that watches your toddler.
Yeah. Story time. Pretty good voices. For story time. I can tell. You can tell the difference between the characters. It was good.
He's been raving about it.
Tap. It was, I'll read the full headline. Manitoba man arrested for stealing playground from a local daycare. Yep, he stole the whole playground. This was a large wooden play structure, not plastic. He cut the fence Thursday night. and took the whole thing. And so people and kids and staff arrived Friday morning to just find it gone. It had been bolted and into the ground. He got it out of there.
Meanwhile, he lives next door and he's just playing the fuck out of the thing while the kids watch over the fence.
He was not far. It was a few blocks away, which makes sense. So Winnipeg police investigated. On Tuesday, the Major Crimes Unit executed. Come on, Manitoba. Come on.
You guys need more crime.
I mean, I'm not saying it's good that the Major Crimes Unit. Yes. It's good that this was not Winnipeg, obviously. This is small town Manitoba. It's good that the Major Crimes Unit has time to focus on this, but reading that, I was like, sorry, did they just say the Major Crimes Unit?
I just thought that like Souris, Manitoba has a Major Crimes Unit.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's one guy. He just was like, hey, what if we started a Major Crimes Unit? Oh, who should we get to head that? I mean, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like how make your own job thing that they a bunch of like how to get ahead in business tips.
Just for the job you want.
Yeah. He just put on a badge that said Major Crimes Unit. And they're like, oh, are you the head of Major Crimes Unit? He's like, yep.
My instincts are telling me this is like he was planning to like repurpose the wood or something, like due to the price of lumber. I can't get over being like, I see these 30 children enjoying this playset, but what if only my child enjoyed it?
Was this man the Grinch?
Yeah.
I mean, possibilities. They don't give a ton of. They never give details on the actual person or their motive. But like,
I need a motive for this.
Yeah,
I need to know.
I mean, I'm gonna guess
why.
the motive was meth, but I could be wrong about that. I'm gonna guess meth was the motive, and the other factors as well. The who, what, why, and where was mostly math based. So they found the stolen play structure as well as an RV that had previously been stolen in this guy's backyard. He was a 35-year-old man, was arrested. The play structure was returned. Unfortunately, it is severely damaged. So the kids can only play with like one part of it now.
Yeah, those don't travel well.
No, yeah. Almost like they're not designed to be moved, fully assembled from a playground or from a backyard of a daycare to a guy's backyard or whatever, a guy's house. But yeah, so anyways. All right. Well, at the end of our quiz, I can reveal that, John, you are our winner. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Your knowledge of Canadian news has paid off again. Please, as always, you've won absolutely nothing but the right of first plug if there's anything you would like the people to know about.
Yeah, sure. I have a couple live shows coming up. I've now taken my Instagram account on the road, which is something I didn't think that people would ever buy tickets for. But to my surprise, this is now my full-time job, if you can believe it.
Amazing.
We feel the same way about this. We're like, well, we're doing this.
Unbelievable. So I have a couple coming up in June. I'm going to be in Musquodoboit Harbor at Steeple Green Books on, I believe it's Friday, June 19th.
Pro tip, they call it Musquodoboit.
What did I say?
Qua. It's so weird. It's so weird and regional, but it's definitely Musquodoboit.
Musquodoboit. Yeah, and there's, not to be confused with East Musquodoboit, which is 30 feet away.
Yes.
Super beautiful. I did a show there last year, actually. And so it's this gentleman named Michael Lake who's repurposed an old church into a bookstore, where he also lives. It's an amazing place. Probably one of my favorite venues I've ever done a show in. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, there's tickets remaining for that one. And the following week, I'm at another church, believe it or not, Sanctuary Arts Center in Dartmouth.
Yay!
So that's
my hometown.
That's on June 27th.
There's a reason churches make good venues. They have great acoustics.
It's very true.
I mean, they are venues, right?
Yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. Halifax is very good to me as a place to do shows. I've done the Marquee in the past.
Oh, so
I also
cool.
did a place called the Woodside Beverage Room. Are you familiar with the Woodside
That place is
Beverage
dope.
Room?
That's a great, just pure old like wood paneling on the walls.
Yeah.
And Olin's on tap. It's fantastic.
Oldest, I believe it's the oldest bar in Dartmouth.
I did not know that. That's wicked. Oh man, I got to go there next time I'm back.
That's my understanding. So I've done the Woodside, I've done the Marquee, and now I'm moving over to this new art center called Sanctuary Arts Center. So I'm really excited about those upcoming shows. And I'm going to be in Newfoundland in September. And I'm going back out west in January to Edmonton, Calgary, Saskatoon, and Winnipeg. And so people can keep their ears to the ground for those dates and details.
Awesome. And follow your hilarious Instagram account for that and much more content, excuse me. Ian, anything you'd like the people to know about?
Just once again, check us out on thebeaverton.com. We got new articles coming out all the time. A couple of my favorites this week. Quebec language laws now require all 2026 hurricanes to be named Jean-Pierre by Janelle Comeau. And Nation sports franchises mark Pride Month with annual closing of the comments section by John Hansen.
Yeah, very funny. That the joke I made about Nova Scotia Power off the top was in homage to Janelle, who is, in addition to a very funny writer and person on Twitter, railing against them on a weekly basis. So
Pretty much. We have to turn down a lot of headlines about Nova Scotia Power because we can only do so many.
But yeah, awesome. Check that out. Check out thebeaverton.com. If you want the best of the Beaverton delivered to you every week, except when I'm on vacation, subscribe to our newsletter, beaverton.com/newsletter. Thanks so much for checking out the show. Talk to you next week.
The Beaverton Weekly Report is produced by Andrew Rivamy in partnership with the From Superheroes Network. Visit FromSuperheroes.com to hear more great podcasts like this.